This is the Porsche Cayman GT4. A sports car that can be so epically... awkward? Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that for years, Porsche's Cayman played second fiddle to the venerable 911. It wasn't until the GT4 that the spunky two-seater truly stole some thunder from the flagship. The motorsports bits aren't just obvious. The big wing, the RS-style nylon door straps, the aero slots you can actually stick your fingers into. This car feels racy. But yeah, that awkward ingress does raise some important questions.
I mean, I've danced ballet since childhood. How is a 200-pound man going to get into this car?
Let's face it, who's going to buy this car? 200-pound men, right?
Oh, and if you're over 65, forget it, unless you do yoga.
Well, you know, nowadays anything can happen. That's right, anything can happen, including a naturally aspirated Cayman sounding better than a turbocharged 911. Listen to this. I'm gonna roll down the windows, push the little sport exhaust button.
You know what?
Yes?
That sound was probably the thing I liked most about this car.
The sound is the thing you like the most. Okay, not to get too nitpicky, but let's get kinda nitpicky. The previous version of this car sounded phenomenal. And the Boxster Spider from the previous generation was, I think, one of the best sounding modern cars. This car does not sound quite as sexy as it could because it's equipped with a gasoline particulate filter to meet emissions regulations in Europe. The US version has a slightly different formulation. It doesn't have some of the rare earth metals in there, but it should sound approximately the same, which gives it sort of a slightly detuned sound. It doesn't have these pops and snaps and crackles that you get if you didn't have that gasoline particulate filter. You're looking very confused.
I just can't believe you're still talking about that.
I can talk more about it, believe me. Sound being such an important part of the equation, though, I think it's fantastic that Porsche took a step back technically in order to take us forward emotionally. How's that for deep? Just came up with that myself. This specific example has the fixed bucket carbon fiber racing seats, so you have to manually adjust them. Whoa! $120,000 car. And, you know, you got to pay more for that because that's just the way things are.
Yeah, it's got a lot of nice details. For example, the nylon racing strap from, you know, years before.
Yeah.
This alone must be $10,000. You know, I think it's honestly just dumb that they should just drop the shtick because it's awkward and it's obviously going to get dirty.
Well, let's give this another go. Put the windows up just to give it a listen. I'm pulling G's, look at her hair. Scared yet?
I've known you for too long.
I trained her well, boys and girls. It does sound pretty good. You like the sound a lot, apparently.
I do. The engine sound is sexy.
You know, I'm weirdly relieved that you like the engine sound.
It's the one thing I like about this car so far.
Okay, so one thing going for this car, that's pretty harsh. But the engine sound is what gets a lot of enthusiasts excited about cars. And it's one of those weird intangibles that you have to go back to more analog technology, really.
Why is it intangible?
It's intangible because it gives you the feels, it gives you emotions, you know? It's not like a horsepower number or a rational thing. I mean, there's no meter that says that this is a sexy sounding car. There's no objective way to measure that. But certain people very specific demographic of enthusiasts tend to be on the same page about this kind of thing. So the fact that you resonate with that and you are not the core target audience for this car illustrates that commonality. This car originally was intended to be manual transmission only, which is like a slap in the face to the mainstream, which says you've got to have an automatic to appeal to so many people, to sell so many cars. So this is like a niche within a niche. I mean, this is a super specific car. It's not all about the torque, it's about revving. This thing goes to 8,000 RPMs. That's pretty impressive. I think this car is all about this seat, not about that seat.
Okay.
That said,
Are you gonna make me drive?
I'm gonna make you drive. It's that time.
Okay, this is the time where I try to humiliate myself, but the car saves me. Because it's made to make every man look okay as a driver.
I hope I have met your high standards for okayness. Come on. Okay, that's fourth.
Straight into fourth.
This is a short shifter that is a lot tighter than the regular gearbox. I will give you that much.
Yeah, no, but you know, it's covering up my lack of skills.
Well,
Technology.
this is a very specific skill set that's required for this vehicle.
When you're the driver of this car, it's so low and kind of unified with the road that it, you know, I think that's the fun part. Is it has very a direct feeling.
Yes, yes.
Of the road.
You get it. You get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you understand why it has the mommy look at me color, why it
The
has
big wing on the back.
You know, like,
And it doesn't even have the decency to like retract when you're going
There's
slow.
nothing-
It's just always up.
there's nothing decent about this car.
But that's the beauty of it. Okay, so that said, this has the auto blip, which will rev match for downshifts. Try going into third. Yeah. Now try going into second.
I feel like this is a quiz. Oh.
Gas. A lot of gas. Go all the way up to 8.
What?
Go. Go, go, go. Well, don't just hold it. Now you can shift.
Okay, no, we go up to
Third. Yeah. Yeah. So when you get into the power band of this car, that's one of the things about a non-turbocharged engine. You've got all this room to play with the revs. It's different, right? And it's kind of the natural tendency to let it go to the lower RPMs and let it kind of trundle along, but it really comes alive when you rev it. And to me, that's part of the magic of a naturally aspirated engine.
I hate when you're right.
I love when you say that. So now we're in third. We're doing about 3,500 RPM, and we've got 4,500 RPM more to go before we hit red line. So we've got more to go than we're at right now if you want to. Give it a little gas on this straight. A lot of gas, a lot of gas, a lot of gas. Nice, right?
Very.
That's what this car is all about. It's about being driven
So
hard.
that's where it's sophisticated. Everything else is garish, and then that part is the sophisticated part.
Well, it looks garish, but it's not really garish. I mean,
Well,
a lot
it
of
is
this...
showy. No, there's a lot of showy stuff on it. It's like, look at me, I'm a drag car. Oh, did you notice I'm a drag car? I've got carbon fiber.
But a lot of it is functional. The carbon fiber does technically save weight. The new rear diffuser does actually create more downforce. This has 50% more downforce than the last car. I mean, these are notable differences that are functional.
They're not just showy.
There's a little bit of show.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are going to buy this car for show. But, you know, are you okay with this level of pure functionality in this interior?
I mean, I think the interior is, in a word, hideous.
Hideous. That proves that we're not getting paid by Porsche to make these videos.
I mean, there's just, I mean, the Alcantara is a nice texture, but everything else, the plastic and all the woozy what's it,
Yeah, you know, I will say that this car is showing its age a bit. The infotainment system is last generation.
Okay, so I kind of get it. Yeah. Get it.
You know what's really intriguing?
I feel like you're going to tell me.
The next one, yes, I am going to tell you. GT4 RS that is not out yet, that will be even more aggressive, way more loud, way more raw, and way more tacky and unrefined, which is probably what you'd think it is. And quite a bit more expensive, believe it or not. So
this is the bargain basement.
This is really a nice, simple performance car. But I really want to show you the brakes. You want to pull over? My turn.
I got stuck. No, I'm serious.
So, I loved watching your face when you got it. Like, you had this moment where it went from an abhorrent conveyance to something that was actually pleasurable to drive.
I would never have intentionally used the gears that way if you hadn't suggested it. But when you did, and then I used it that way, it made the whole thing kind of come alive.
Now, one thing you didn't use are the brakes.
I guess it wouldn't be a Porsche video unless you...
You okay? We're gonna have to reupholster your seat. Wouldn't be a Porsche video unless you...
I felt like you threw a metal anchor down into the road.
They are incredible brakes. And it is a quick car, but it's not explosively quick. Part of it is because it's naturally aspirated. And you've got that long power band that's really linear, and the throttle response is really accurate. You can do that. Dual mass flywheel. However, I'm losing you again, it feels fast because you're low to the ground. This is 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, which is actually slower than the base 911.
So how does this give street cred if it's slower?
It is dialed in for handling. There are ball joints in the suspension instead of bushings for crisper response. So what you put into the steering wheel is immediately translated to lateral movement.
I'm good with that.
See what I mean?
Done with that.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it?
Shut up.
Well, there you have it. I mean, that's the 2020 Porsche Cayman GT4. A very specific car for a very specific kind of person.
Best enjoyed from the driver's seat.
I think that's the takeaway. I think this is the spot right here. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to like
And subscribe.
Have fun out there.
You know, if I had $1 for every time you said, when I drove this on the track, it was so amazing.
Well, here's another $1 because when I drove this at Knockhill Circuit in Scotland,
It's not a torque monster, is it?
it's a cookie monster.
I don't know what you're talking about. I hope it makes sense to somebody.
Viewers, anyone out there, do you understand? Comment.
Crickets.
And like and subscribe while you're at it.